Welcome back, Duckling Squad, to another, not really episode this time today. You've really watched me suffer through Nuzlocke, cry over all these critical hits, and sort of question different things that are going on within the Pokemon world. But have you ever wondered what kind of Pokemon I actually like? Today, we're actually going to be diving headfirst into my personal Pokemon faves. I'm going to be ranking them by different generations, different types, and so on. Um, this isn't just a list, it's also really a journey through my Pokemon origin story. I'll be sprinkling in tales from when I first picked up a Game Boy, fell in love with the series, and then somehow ended up naming my YouTube channel as the OrangeDuckling. So buckle in, this is going to be part tier list, part confession, but it will be definitely something eye-opening for you. So let's start ranking these Pokemon. So I'm going to start off with Gen 1. So just as a heads up, when I started Pokemon, I definitely did start with Gen 1. I played through Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3. Then I sort of stopped playing Pokemon as much, and then Gen 4, 5, 6, and even 7 came out, and I really didn't stick around with playing Pokemon. Then once the games did start coming out for the Switch, I ended up picking up back in Pokemon Sword and Shield, and then Legends Arceus, and then Gen 9 with Scarlet and Violet, and I've been really getting back into Pokemon. Again, I missed a lot of the different gens in between. I do love a lot of the mons that have been in there, and I did play the new Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl games to sort of go through Gen 4 and I guess learn what it was all about as well. I haven't really played any Gen 5, Gen 6, or Gen 7 games as of yet, but obviously there are a lot of mons that I still enjoy and hold dearly because of them popping up in other randomizers that I play, as well as in Gen 8 and Gen 9 and so on. So we're going to start off, we're going to go through Gen 1. It's probably going to be the harder tier list for me because I really grew up with Gen 1 as well. Let's look at our normal types here. So a bunch of very, I think, unique normal types here in Gen 1. But if I had to go with my favorite out of all of these, it would definitely be Pidgeot. Just the Pidgey line was so iconic, especially watching the anime and so on. I just think Pidgeot was really something that pulled me in terms of normal. And again, I could bring that into the flying type. But we'll probably come to the flying type and see if maybe I pick Pidgeot there as well. We'll see, and then maybe I can change the normal type here. Again, Snorlax is another big pick here as well if I want to come back and maybe take flying as Pidgeot, and then we'll come back and change this to Snorlax. In terms of fire types, there's not that many, but I really did like, obviously, Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard, and so on. All of these were really, really good, but I don't know why I really tended to enjoy Charmeleon, especially through the anime and so on, with its really angsty teenage, like, okay, I don't want to do what you want me to do kind of feel and vibe to it. And I don't know, enjoyed that for the Charmeleon itself. I think it was a really good Pokemon. In terms of water, and my favorite Pokemon of all time will definitely have to be Golduck, just because of what the idea of Psyduck evolving into Golduck really means for me. I just feel like that is such a big, interesting topic and idea of how Psyduck and Golduck really represent a backward turntable of what we as humans really are. Moving on to grass here. In terms of grass, I would probably have to go with Bulbasaur. I don't think any of the other ones really ever did catch my interest. There's a lot of grass poisons in here as well, but definitely Bulbasaur, really cute, and something that I really did like. Now, in terms of electric here, I would probably have to go with Jolteon, very speedy in evolution, and just something that I really did enjoy. Raichu was another one, but again, I feel like Raichu ended up being a little worse off, especially once you watch the anime and you sort of see the battle between Ash and Lieutenant Surge and so on, and it really like brings down the hype for Raichu there, I think, because it's like, oh, Pikachu can still be pretty good without evolving, and it's just like, okay, well, you really didn't have to bring down Raichu like that. Okay, moving on to the ice type. Not a lot to pick from in terms of all of these. I'd probably go with Lapras or Articuno. Let's say Articuno for this one. In terms of fighting, here we have a bunch of different fighting mons. All of these are really great. I really liked all the fighting mons. Primeape's great. Poliwrath is great as well. Machamp, Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan. But I'm definitely going to have to go with the Hitmonchan, kind of like a boxing vibe. I definitely really do like the Hitmonchan there. Yeah, lots of poison types here. But I would definitely here have to go with the Nidoking. Nidoking is just such an iconic mon, especially for Gen 1. And it's just one that I really did like. Okay, moving on to the ground type. Quite a few here as well. And I wish this mon was definitely a lot better than it is. It's so sad because I really love the design of this mon. Same thing with Golduck. I really like the design of Golduck, and I think it's my favorite Pokemon of all time. Sandslash is another candidate there. So amazing, I think, design wise, but it just is let down a lot by its stats and so on. So I just wish it was definitely better. Hopefully in future games maybe we can get something. I know we got the Lowland Sandslash and that still didn't really live up to the hype, but yeah, I mean, Sandslash is definitely one of my 4 favorite Pokemon out there. Okay, moving to flying. So looking at this here, I would probably have to either go with Gyarados here or Zapdos. I think both of those are really good. I do love me Scyther, but I think that's gonna probably be my pick for the Bugmon. Dragonite's pretty good again, but I think I'm gonna be picking that for the Dragon type. I don't think there was anything other than Dragonite in Gen 1, but just thinking between Gyarados or Zapdos here, I'll probably go with the Gyarados. Gyarados is just such a unique mon as well in Gen 1. It pops up every now and again in other generations as well. It got its Mega Evolution and so on. Looking at the Psychic type, there's a lot of great Psychic types in here. Alakazam is great. Mr. Mime is definitely a unique case here. Mewtwo, Mew are legendaries here. So I feel like I definitely would want to go with Mewtwo here. But I think there is a thing for ranking legendaries that are separate. So I'll keep the Mewtwo for the legendary spot, and I'll go with the Alakazam in this spot here. Okay, looking at bug types. So again, I've already sort of alluded to this. Definitely Scyther is the pick here that I want to go with. Butterfree is a pretty good candidate as well, as is Beedrill, but I definitely love Scyther. Scyther is such a unique and interesting Pokemon here, so I definitely want to go with that. Let's move ourselves over to the side. Looking at rock types. Rock types are interesting. I didn't really bond with any of these a lot. Golem was always a weird one because you need to trade to get it, and a lot of times just trying to find somebody to trade with was a hassle, especially in the Game Boy era and so on. But I'm probably going to have to go with Kabutops here. I think just the design, very similar to like Scyther as well, but I definitely love both of these designs here. Moving on to Ghost, this has definitely got to go to, you would think Gengar, but I really liked Haunter. I don't know why. I mean, obviously it evolves into the Gengar, so it's almost the same thing, but I just really enjoy the design of Haunter. I know Gengar has a unique design and so many people love it, but Haunter I think definitely is slightly underrated as a mon, and I think as a design wise as well. Okay, coming into Dragon, any of these picks are great, right? I mean, you got Dratini, which is more like a lizard, snail, snake kind of thing. Dragonair is very majestic, and really I love Dragonair as well. But obviously Dragonite, the fully evolved Dragonmon, that's the one that I'm gonna have to go with here. Okay, coming to Dark, there really isn't any Darks in Gen 1, and there never was a Darkmon. But you can see here they've added some definitely unique things here. The ghost from Lavender Tower, Missing No, some of the fossils here, the substitute doll. Again, I think Missing No just has a really big like place in my heart, especially playing through Gen 1 and using the glitch with the Missing No or Missing Number, and just using it to sort of, you know, duplicate items and so on. It was just so unique and fun, and always, you know, oh hey, look at this, you know, kind of thing that you could tell and show your friends. It was always fun. Steel type, not much to pick from here. I mean, either of these, Magnemite, Magneton is great. I'll go with Magneton here. Fairy, not a lot to pick with here as well, but I think just Jigglypuff, based on these 5 here, is probably going to be my pick. Favorite starter. Ooh, okay, this is an interesting case. I mean, they're all great, the original starters of Kanto, but if I had to definitely pick one out of these, I would have to go with Squirtle. Most of the time I would always start my games with Squirtle. I know it's weird because Golduck is my favorite mon, and it's water as well, but out of the starters I definitely got to go with Squirtle here. My favorite gimmick form for Gen 1. Ooh, okay, interesting. Lots of really cool and interesting designs here, but I feel like I'm going to have to... do I have to? I mean, all of these are so good. Mega Gengar was great. I didn't really vibe too much with like the Gigantamax forms. Not that, I don't know, the Megamons are just definitely a lot cooler to me. And if I had to go with these, I mean, the Mega Mewtwo's are really cool. Mega Slowbro is an interesting take on Slowbro as well. But I'm probably going to go with Charizard X here. Y is really cool as well. X is really cool as well. Again, Mega Pidgeot too, and then the Blastoise. But Mega Charizard X just going much darker, just really interesting to me. In terms of legend, I definitely feel like Mewtwo is my pick here. Mew is another great pick. All of these mons are obviously iconic. Zapdos is another great pick too, but I'm definitely going to go with Mewtwo. Now in terms of favorite, I have to go with Golduck. I mean, that's what my favorite mon has been since the start of Pokemon, and it's probably not going to change. Okay, let's move on to Gen 2. Looking at the normal types, lots of great normal types here. Blissey, Ursaring, the bear, you know, from our Emerald Imperium Nuzlocke is definitely a big thing with fur coat we had. But out of these, I really, I don't know why, I just really like Furret. It's just an interesting mon. I like the design, and that's just the one that I do like out of those. Moving to fire types. Great picks for fire types here. Obviously you have Typhlosion, Quilava, Cyndaquil, then you have your Houndour, Houndoom, which are great, Entei, Ho-Oh. All of these are really good picks, but if I had to go, I'm really struggling here, but I would think maybe something like Quilava or Entei for this. I'll give it to Entei. Maybe we might come back and maybe change some of this. This one definitely, out of all of these, interestingly enough, my favorite mod out of all of these is Totodile. I mean, the Totodile line and Feraligatr as well. Just, I love that line. And it's probably my favorite Gen 2 mod as well. I think we'll see. We'll go through all of these and we'll see. But I think that is definitely my pick there. Now, out of these, I will definitely have to go with Celebi. The Meganium line is a real letdown for me. I just wish, I don't know, Bayleaf was interesting in this case, but Meganium itself, I don't know, I didn't really like it too much. Blossom's cool, Hotbips, Sunflora's, so definitely Celebi in this case. Electric. Now, in terms of electric, Lantern is amazing. Water electric type is great. Ampharos is pretty cool as well. It gets its Mega as well. Elekid was an interesting take onto the baby Electabuzz as well. But I'm definitely going to have to go with Raikou here. I love the Legendary Beast from Johto, and I definitely love that one as well. And if I didn't really like Totodile, I probably would have picked Suicune over here as well. Okay, looking at Ice type, hands down my favorite Mon here is Sneasel, and it's not even close. I loved Sneasel when Gen 2 came out. I even remember when I used to collect my Pokemon cards and stuff, I had this deck with a dark water deck with Sneasel and Feraligatr. Oh my goodness, that was my favorite deck of all time as well. And Sneasel, just when it came out with the dark typing, it was so insane for me because I love Sneasel from the start. Okay, moving on to fighting type. Not a lot to pick from here. I don't know if I would pick Heracross here because I really do love Heracross, but I feel like that would be my bug type pick. Actually, no, there's other types here that maybe I would take, so I'll take Heracross for the fighting type here. Poison, not a lot to pick from here either, but I'm definitely going to have to go with Crobat. Crobat's such a good Mon. Getting Golbat and evolution to Crobat is so interesting, and Crobat's just a really great Mon to have in playthroughs as well. I just love it. Ground type, a few ground types here to pick from, but out of these I would definitely have to go with Donphan. Donphan's just a really good ground type that you always enjoy having, and just having Donphan on your team really bolsters your team a lot. Looking at flying here, so lots of great picks as well. We have our legendaries of Lugia and Ho-Oh here as well. I do love me Lugia, and I really like Ho-Oh as well. I definitely like Lugia a little bit more than Ho-Oh, but if I had to pick here, I would probably go with Skarmory. Skarmory is such a cool Mon, steel flying, really great typing as well, defensively. I just enjoy its design as well, is really great, and I just think it's really cool. Moving on to Psychic, we have a bunch of unknowns here. Let me move my screen over a little bit. And then we have, obviously, Slow King was cool. Lugia is really cool as well. But I'm definitely going to have to go with Espeon here. Another evolution. Again, I really do like most of the evolutions. If I didn't really like if I didn't really like Golduck, Vaporeon would obviously be another pick for me in Gen 1 Water, and then Flareon as well for Fire type in Gen 1, and then Espeon here, and it's probably sort of alluding to my Dark type pick here as well. Obviously, Sneasel is definitely a pick for my Dark type as well, but I picked them in my Ice type just because none of these other ones really sell me on it, so definitely Sneasel from the Ice type there, so that in the Dark type I can take maybe Umbreon, we'll see. Okay, looking at our bug types, so again I took Heracross for the fighting. Hot take here, I think Ledian is actually a really cool design Mon. I just wish it was definitely a better Mon, but here I'm definitely picking Scizor. I mean, Scyther into Scizor was amazing. I know the BST doesn't change, but they do change the stats around a little bit, and then giving it the steel typing on top of the bug. Amazing Mon. Rock type here. It's a lot of unique rock types, but I definitely just have to go with our pseudo legendary, not Tyranitar, but Larvitar, the cute little guy here. Great Mon as well. Obviously when it evolves into the Tyranitar. I like Tyranitar, don't get me wrong, but I gotta give it up to Larvitar, right? Like, that's where he started off as. Okay, Ghost, there's no option other than the Mischievous, so we go with that. Dragon, there's no other option other than Kingdra. Not a lot of Dragon types, Gen 1, Gen 2, right? And then moving on to Dark. Again, I would pick Sneasel, and I would pick it again because it is my favorite, I think, Gen 2 Mon. But just to have a little bit more variety here, I'll definitely take the Umbreon because I think Umbreon's a great one as well. The shiny from Umbreon, amazing. Alright, looking at Steel. Ooh, okay, I already did pick Scizor and I did pick Skarmory. But what I'll do is I'll take Skarmory here. Maybe I'll change my flying pick from here. So instead of going with Skarmory, maybe we'll take Ho-Oh in this slot. Okay. Alright, let's take a look at fairy types. Not a lot of fairy types here. And if I was to say which one I really like, I don't know why I gravitate towards Granbull here. I think Granbull is probably going to be my pick for fairy types. Looking at starters, again, like I said, Totodile probably my favorite here, but I'll put Feraligatr in. Again, Quilava has another case for me. I really like Quilava. I don't know why I don't like Typhlosion as much as Quilava. It's going from it being on all fours onto just standing up. It didn't really suit well for me. And I don't know, it just like Quilava had this nice fire tail as well. I don't know where did that go for Typhlosion. Again, I love Typhlosion. I'm not saying like like that, but like it's just interesting. Okay, looking at our megas here, all these megas are really good. But I would have to definitely go with Mega Tyranitar here. It just looks so much cooler than its original Tyranitar form, and it's just really like, I didn't get to pick it, and I picked Larvitar, but it's fine. I get to shine here. Now looking at our legendaries, I think I'm going to go with Lugia. Again, Suicune has a say here as well. I just feel like I do like Lugia more than the Suicune. Okay, and then out of my favorites of all of these, it's a hard pick between Sneasel and Totodile. Both of those are like some of my favorite mons. And again, unlucky that they both come from Gen 2. But if I would have to, I definitely gotta go with Sneasel. I don't know why. I just really love the design and just the mon itself. Sneasel was such an amazing Pokemon for me. Okay, let's move on to Gen 3. So let's take a look at the normal typing here. A lot of interesting cases here. I do like Zangoose for what it's worth. I know it's not that good of a mon. I really like Vigoroth. Vigoroth is so cool and so interesting, and then it goes to Slacking that has Truant, which is annoying. Obviously a randomized, if you play a randomizer, and having Slacking not have the Truant ability, it makes it a lot better, but I don't know why. I just don't like it as much there. Linoon's pretty cool as well, but not as cool as Furret. I was trying to do what Furret was trying to do, but I don't know, I just really like Furret a lot more. Talos, Swallow are amazing picks here as well. And I think I'm probably going to end up going with the Swallow, I think, out of these. Let's take a look at our fire types here. Not too much options to go with. If I would have to pick one from here, I would definitely say Blaziken. Let's take a look at our water mons. A bunch of water mons here, some great water mons as well. If I would have to pick a mon from here, I would definitely, I know Swampert's great, but I think Sharpedo is such a cool mon for me. I don't know if do I want to pick Sharpedo, or I might pick Mega Sharpedo later. No, I definitely, or maybe I'll pick him in the dark type. I mean, Kyogre is another great mon here as well. Milotic is definitely great as well. You know what? Let's go with the Swampert. We'll pick Swampert for water here. I think that would probably be my favorite. In terms of grass, lots of cool designs here as well. But I always loved me some Grovyle, and I think Grovile's another. I don't know what it was about Stage 2 starters that I really like. Like, I love Quilava. I love Charmeleon. I love Grovyle. Some of the other ones not so much. Bayleaf was another one that was great. Ivysaur was great as well. Wartortle, another one. But yeah, Grovyle definitely out of these. Sceptile's great as well, but I don't know. I just feel like Grovyle I really tend to like more. Looking at electric types, not many to pick from here. Out of these, I'll probably go with the Manectric, just because I think it's probably better than the other ones, or I like it more than the other ones. Looking at our ice types, out of these, I probably would have to go with Walrein. I think it's just something that I prefer based on the other ice types. Regice is pretty good as well. I mean, that would probably be an option as well, but I think Walrein just inches it out a little bit for me. Looking at fighting types, definitely, I think I have to just go with Hariyama. Love the design. I think it's really cool that like you try and bring like the sumo wrestler in for this fighting type of mon, and just having a really bulky HP. I just really like them on there. Looking at poison types, out of these, I'd probably say Roselia, but then I'm probably going to pick Roserade for Gen 4. So then I'd probably just end up going with Seviper here. Seviper's just a cool poison type that's there. I know it's rivals with Zangoose, and Zangoose, I really like Zangoose as well. And then it's just a nod back to like Arbok and Ekans as well. A snake type mon here. Okay, let's look at our ground types here. So looking at the ground types, I think I'll definitely either have to pick between Flygon or Groudon here. And I feel like I'm probably going to end up with Flygon. Again, Flygon, a lot of people are saying they want the Mega Flygon for Legend ZA. Hopefully we end up getting that. But Flygon definitely here in Gen 3. Let's look at Flying. Ooh, we got the Dark Lugia here as well, probably from Pokemon Coliseum. Rayquaza, Salamence. Lots of good picks here as well. We got Pelipper. Swellow's back again. I think I'm going to end up going with Salamence here. Just because I think maybe later on down the line, maybe when we get to legendary typings, or maybe dragon typings, we'll see Rayquaza again. But for now, I think Salamence here is probably going to be my pick. Okay, looking at psychic types, lots of really cool and interesting Pokemon here. Obviously, you have your Ralts line, you have the Latis, you have all the different forms of Deoxys. But if I had to pick here, I think I would definitely go with Metagross. Just a really cool mon. Just having Salamence and Metagross right beside each other is definitely interesting to see. Okay, looking at our bug types. In terms of these, nothing really jumps out at me, but if I would have to pick, I really think Shedinja would be my pick here. Looking at rock, all of these are interesting as well, but if I would have to pick, definitely I think Aggron, Lairon, Aeron were definitely my picks here. Probably pick Aeron just because it's a little bit cuter and it's on all fours as well. I think that would be my pick for rock type there. Looking at the ghost types, I probably, in terms of these, I would go with Sableye. The design for Sableye is really, really cool and interesting, so I think that's what I'll go with. Looking at Dragon here, so this is where I feel like I definitely got to go with that Rayquaza. I think Rayquaza for my favorite dragon type is definitely where I would go. Looking at dark types, very easily I'm gonna go with Absol. Absol is probably a really, really like fan favorite of mine right now. Again, I don't know what it is about these edgy mons, dark types, right? Like, I don't know, I really get pulled in by the Absol there. Looking at Steel, ooh, we got some good picks here, but I would probably go, I already picked Metagross and I did pick Aeron. So I'll probably give this one up to Mawile. Actually, does it show up in Fairy again? Oh, okay. Actually, that's fine. We'll keep Mawile, because I was thinking Jirachi as well. Okay, let's give it to Jirachi. And then here I'll pick Mawile. I mean, I don't really think of Ralts as like a fairy type, because originally it was just psychic type, and that's what I think of it as. So if I was to pick or else I would have picked it in the psychic type category. So I'll pick Mawa here. In terms of starter, out of these, I definitely gotta go with Grovyle. I don't know why, I just really love Grovyle. And then the Trico as well. I mean, Trico is great as well, and that's not another one that I could go with here. Actually, I'll give it to Trico in this case. I think just Trico, especially like in the anime with Ash's Trico, where it's like chewing on that little twig kind of thing. I think it's just so cool and interesting for me. Looking at our gimmick mons, we got a bunch here. I want to give this one, I think I'll give it to Primal Groudon. I think that's the one I would probably give it to. I mean, Mega Absol's another one, but I feel like just the normal Absol form is better. And then looking at the legendary mons, I mean, I've already picked Rayquaza and Groudon, although it was Primal Groudon, so I gotta give a little bit of a shout out to Kyogre, right? I mean, Kyogre is amazing as well. And then my favorite out of all of these, I'm gonna have to give it to Absol. Again, Absol just really caught my eye. Call me edgy, but I definitely do want to give it to Absol there. Okay, let's move on to Gen 4. Looking at Gen 4 normal mons, Arceus is great, and I would definitely go for that one. But I'm gonna keep that for maybe my legendary slot, maybe? I don't know. But if I had to pick Staraptor, it's interesting because Gen 1, Gen 3, Gen 4, all of those normal types are these normal early bird types, but I don't know what it is about them. I do like them. And I would definitely say those were my favorite there. Moving on to the fire type, not a lot to pick from here. If I would have to go with one, I think it would have to go with Infernape. Love me some Chimchar as well. I think Chimchar is great. And it's something that I definitely do like. Looking at the water types, lots of cool and interesting ones here. We got Empoleon, which is great. We got our different types of Gastrodons. Palkia is another one. But if I would have to pick, I gotta go with my boy Weasel here. I know it's a weird pick, but I don't know why I really like Weasel and Floatzel. And I gotta give it up for them there. Otherwise, definitely Pliplup's another one there as well that I would like. Looking at our grass mons here, Roserade pops up here, and again, I think Roserade is really cool and interesting, but I feel like that will be my poison type pick. And we'll come back to that one. Shaman, both the sky form and the normal form as well, really cool, but I'm going to have to give it to Leafeon here. Just an interesting, again, evolutions, I do like them a lot. So I gotta give some shout outs to them. I know I picked Espeon Umbreon before, and I had the pick with Jolteon as well. Electric types here. Definitely Electivire is one here that I do enjoy. And I think it has a pretty good design, evolving Electabuzz into Electivire. But I just gotta shout out Luxray, man. Luxray doesn't get enough love, and I know, like, BST wise, it doesn't live up to the hype, but man, is it such a cool design. Looking at our ice type here, again, pretty easily, actually not easily, maybe I'll come back to Weavile in the dark type, but here I'll probably give a shout out to Mamoswine. Definitely one of my favorite mons that like came in Gen 4. Again, really cool design. Just taking Piloswine and evolving it into Mamoswine, just really cool. Fighting types here. I'm gonna have to go with Lucario. I mean, Riolo's really cool as well. I gotta give it to Lucario there. Poison types, this is where I said I would probably come back to and use the Roserade. Drapions another big contender here as well, but I'm gonna give it to Roserade. Looking at ground types here, I think I'll probably go with an easy pick here and just pick Garchomp. I mean, Garchomp's always amazing. I think it's probably, is it? I don't know if I want to say it's my favorite pseudo legendary. Probably it definitely was back in the day, but I don't know if it is nowadays. But definitely I do like it. Looking at our flying types, okay, definitely interesting cases here to be made. But I think I'm just gonna have to go with the Skyform Shaman. I didn't get to pick it in the grass type, so I'll pick it here for the flying type. Okay, looking at Psychic. Ooh, okay, interesting. I think I'm gonna have to go with Gallade here. I think Gallade will be my pick. Bug types from Gen 4. Nothing really that stands out to me personally. Probably gonna go with Mothim here. I think just Mothim being able to evolve here is an interesting case instead of having like the Wormadams. Rock type, looking at these rock types, definitely I think Craniodos and Rampardos are really cool and unique. I just wish they were better, and for that reason I'm probably gonna go with Rhyperior, getting right on that evolution. I know when I first saw it I was like, okay, does Rhydon really evolve into that? Doesn't seem like that would be Rhydon's evolution, but it's really grown on me over time. Looking at our ghost types here, Miss Magius is cool, having the evolution from Mischievous from before, but I'm gonna give this one up to Giratina. Do I want to give it to the origin form or the regular one? Probably give it to the origin form, the snake one. Looking at our dragon types, I'll probably give this one to Palkia. I think Palkia is definitely the one that's going to get my vote there. Dark type, we come back to Weavile here, and we pick Weavile. Steel type here, definitely going to give this one to Dialga. Fairy, not much to pick from here. Again, Mime Jr. is okay, but I gotta go with Togekiss there. Starter. I'm definitely gonna have to give this one up. Again, I didn't get a chance to give Turtwig line any love, but I gotta go with my boy Chimchar. I definitely gotta do that. Gimmick form. Out of these, I mean, I don't really like Mega Garchomp, Mega Abomasnow, Mega Lopunny, yeah. So this is definitely a pick between Mega Gallade or Mega Lucario, and I think just based on the games themselves, or based on the Mons, I think I'll go with Mega Lucario here. Okay, for our legendary pick, I gotta give it to Arceus, don't I? Arceus gotta get that one. Okay, now in terms of my favorite here, this is a tough pick, but I want to go Weavile, but I've already picked Sneasel, and I feel like, I don't know, Sneasel, I probably like that more than Weavile. So here I'll probably give it to Leafeon. I don't know, I just really do like Leafeon there. Okay, moving on to Gen 5. Again, I haven't played the Gen 5 games, but I know of these mons. I don't know what these mons here at the bottom are, but I know of these mons here. And so who would I want to pick here? Meloetta is definitely an interesting case. But if I had to pick, I think I would go with the Sawsbuck, maybe. Autumn Sawsbuck? No, not the winter one. Maybe Autumn Sawsbuck. I think that's the one I would go with there. Okay, looking at our fire types here. Chandelore's pretty cool. Darmanitan's cool. Victini, Volcarona, Reshiram, really good picks here. I'll probably give it to Reshiram. Looking at our water types, let's see. I would probably want to give this, and you've probably already guessed it, I gotta give it to Ducklet, right? For my Duckling squad, I gotta give it to Ducklet. In terms of grass types, I mean, Leavanny's really cool as well, but I gotta give it to Superior. You know what? I'll give it to the Superior. Looking at our electric types, a lot of cool, interesting cases here. But if I picked Reshiram, I gotta pick Zekrom, right? Come on. Looking at ice types, ooh, we have Kyurem White, Kyurem Black, we have original Kyurem, but I feel like not enough love goes out to the ice cream cones. No, I'm joking. I gotta pick Kyurem here. Alright, let's look at our fighting types. Definitely interesting cases here. Scrafty, definitely really cool. Mienshao, really cool, but I gotta give it to Conkeldurr. Definitely one of my more favorite fighting types. Poison type. Here probably I would give it to Amoonguss. Ground type. Oh, this is, I think, pretty straightforward. Crocodile here. Flying types. Ooh. I'm gonna give some love to Emolga here. Okay, looking at psychic types. Definitely interesting cases here, but I will give this one to Reuniclus. I think that would be my pick for psychic type. Looking at bug types, I think this is where I go with the Volcarona. Rock types in this gen, I gotta give it to my boy Gigalith here. Ghost types, this one I will give to Chandelure. Dragon types, this one's gotta go to Haxorus. Dark types, I gotta give it to probably my second most favorite Pokemon of all time, Bisharp. I don't know why, I just love Bisharp. Actually, that will be my Steel pick. I'll give Steel to Bisharp, and then I'll actually give Dark to Zoroark. Fairy type, I'll give it to Whimsicott. Starter, I'll give it to Snivy. This one here, I don't know what all this is. Probably something to do with the Gen 5 games. I've never played the Gen 5 games, so I'll just give it to Mega Garbodor there. In terms of legendaries, Victini's cool, but I gotta show some love to the genies, right? I'll give this one to, I'll give it to Thundurus. I think the Therian form. And then my favorite Mon from this generation is easily going to be Bisharp. Alright, let's look at Gen 6. Gen 6 normal type. I mean, picking Mega Pidgeot's kind of weird, right? Because that's technically Gen 1. So we'll actually give this one to Heliolisk. Okay. Fire type here. Let's give it to Talonflame. I think Talonflame definitely. It's weird because I see the Mega Mods and I'm like, oh, I want to pick those. Here I gotta give it to my boy Greninja, right? And then Chestnut for sure here as well. Alright, let's look at our electric Mons. Ooh, there's not a lot to pick from. Okay, I'll put Heliolisk here, and then for my normal type, I'll actually give it to... We'll give it to Pyroar. Yeah, how about that? Ice type. Here, I'll go with Avalugg. And then fighting type, I'm going to give that one to Hawlucha. Not a lot to pick from Gen 6. Not a lot of new mons. We'll give this to Dragalge. Ground type, we'll give it to Zygarde. Flying type. Ooh. Okay, we gotta give it to Noivern here. Psychic type. Let's give this one to Delphox. Bug type here. We only have Vivian. So what type of Vivian do I want? I'd probably go for this one. Looking at our rock types, I think this one I'll actually give to Mega Diancie. No, actually, yeah, I'll give it to Mega Diancie. Do I want to? Because I'm thinking maybe Tyrant. I'll give it to Tyrant. Let's give it to Tyrant. Okay, this one here is Ghost. So I will give this to Doublade. This one here is what, Dragon type? And we'll give it to Gudra here. Dark type. We'll give it to Yveltal. This is Steel type. Steel type we will give to Aegislash. Now what form? Probably the attacking form, just because it looks a little bit cooler like that. This one, we'll give it to the Eternal Floette. Starter. Ooh, this is a tough one. I would have to say, let's say, I think Froakie gets it. This is what favorite gimmick form here. Favorite. I guess this comes down to favorite Megamon, huh? I guess I gotta just stick with my gut and give this to Mega Absol. Okay, and then favorite legendary. I'll give this one to. Let's give it to Xerneas. I mean, I know Xerneas. No, you know what? We'll give it to Zygarde, but the doggy form, right? The I think it's 5%, 10%. I'm not sure what the percentage is on that one. And then favorite Mon from Gen 6. I would probably have to give this to Aegislash, I think. Yeah, Aegislash there. Alright, moving on to Gen 7. Gen 7 normal type. Ooh. Okay, out of these, I would probably give it to. I'll give it to Alolan Rattata. Raticate. Nah. Yeah, I guess I'll give it to Alolan Rattata. Not Raticate, but Rattata. Fire type here. I definitely gotta go with that Marowak. That Marowak's so cool. Water type. I think I will go with Primarina here. Grass type. I gotta go with my boy Decidueye here. Over here, electric type. Oh, we gotta go with Togi, right? Togi is definitely the electric type there. In terms of ice, I think I'll go with the Alolan Ninetales here. Definitely really pretty mon there. Fighting type, I gotta give this to Marshadow. Yeah, I think so. What is this? Poison type. Poison type, I will give to Alolan Muck. Ground type, I will give this to Mudsdale. Flying type, let's go with Celesteela here. This is psychic type. Psychic type, I will give this one to Necrozma, I think. Bug type here, I think I will go with Golisopod. And then rock type, I'm gonna go with Lycanroc here. Ghost type, I will go with Lunala, Dragon type. I will go with Komao. What is this? This is Dark type. Dark type. Let's give it to Incineroar. Let's give him some love. Steel type. Here I'll go with Solgaleo. Fairy type. I would say Ribombee here. Actually, Shiinotic. Shiinotic doesn't get enough love, I think. Favorite starter out of these, I gotta go with my boy Rowlet here. Gimmick form here. I mean, these are just Alolan forms, but if I would have to pick from these, I think the one that probably makes me laugh the most is probably a Alolan Duck Trio. So I'll go with that. And then favorite legendary here, I think I'll go with Zeraora. Zeraora for sure. Alright, my favorite Mon from this gen, that's all toughy. I think I would go with Solgaleo here. Alright, moving on to Gen 8. Gen 8 normal type. This one's harder than you really think. Ursaluna's here because we got Legends Arceus in here as well. But I gotta go with the Hisuian Zorua, right? I think that's the one that I gotta go with. In terms of fire type, ooh, this is a tough one, but Raboot's got me. Raboot's got me for sure. Looking at the water types here, all really cool types here. Basculegion, Barrascuda, these are all great. Origin Palkia, but I gotta go with my boy Inteleon here. For grass, I really want to give it to Rillaboom, but giving it to all the starters. Actually, I'll give it to Rillaboom, I think. Actually, not Rillaboom. We'll give it to Grookey. Okay, electric types, I gotta go with Toxtricity here. Yeah, I'll give it to Toxtricity here. Ice type. Ooh, I gotta give it to Snom because that was the first shiny that I found ever. So I definitely gotta give it to Snom. In terms of fighting types, lots of good picks here. But I gotta give it to my boy Sirfetch'd. Gotta give it to Sirfetch'd there. Poison type, easy pick for me here. Sneasel. Call back to my love for Sneasel in Gen 2. Ursaluna here. For flying types, definitely want to give this one to Corviknight. Psychic types, definitely interesting cases here. Orbeetle's cool, Hatterene's cool, but I gotta give it to Galarian Articuno here. Bug types, Kleavor easily clears all the other ones. Rock types here. Ooh, maybe I want to give Kleavor the rock. No, I gotta give it to the Harknine. Hisuian Harknine there. What is this? This is Ghost type. Ghost type I will give to Basculegion. And then for the Dragon type, I will give this one to Dragapult. And then for the Dark type, I definitely gotta. I want to give it to Galarian Moltres as well, but then Obstagoon, then Grimmsnarl, they're all so good. I think I'll end up giving this one to Obstagoon here. Steel type. This is when I will probably give it to Zacian. Actually, I'll give this one to Primal Dialga. Nah, not Primal Dialga. I'll give this one to. Let's give it to Zamazenta. I think Zamazenta definitely deserves that one. And the fairy type, I will give this one to Zacian. Yeah. And then favorite starter definitely has to be Hisuian Decidueye is here too. I'll give it to Inteleon. That's the one that I would pick there. Favorite gimmick type here. Lots of good picks here. Galarian Zapdos, all the Hisuimons. Ooh, this is tough. You know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna give this one to Sneasler because I think Sneasler is super cool. And I will give this one to Hisui and Sneasel. And then over here, favorite legendary. I'll give this one to... I want to give it to Zapdos, but Kubfu is cool too. And I love Zacian as well, but I already picked Zacian. So this one, oh, Spectre is here too. I'll give it to Kubfu. I think Kubfu is really cool. My favorite out of all of these mons for Gen 8, I will have to probably go with Sneasler. I think that's the one I would go with. Alright, looking at Gen 9. Gen 9 normal types. We gotta give this one. I think I'll give this one to Cyclozar. Good Cyclozar. Favorite fire type here. I gotta give it to my boy Armarouge. Armarouge definitely. Quaxley, no, not even a question there for Quaxley. Grass type. I'll give this one to Arbolive, I think. Electric type. I'll give this one to Iron Hands. Ice type. I'll give this one to Qianpao. Qianpao, what is this? Fighting type. Oh, this is easy. Annihilate, easy. What is this? Poison type. Poison type, I will give this to Claw. Oh, I gotta give to Clodsire for sure. Ground type. This one goes to Great Tusk. Flying type. Oh, Flamigo, easy. Psychic type. Psychic type. Out of these, I would probably give it to Farigiraf here. Bug type. Slitherwing. Rock type. Garganackle. What is this? Ghost type. We go with Ceruledge. Dragon type. We'll give it to... Am I blanking on his name? Arctibax? Is that his final evolution? Arctibax? No. Frigibax, Arctibax, Baxcalibur. Baxcalibur, sorry, that's not his name. Dark type here. I would probably give it to Roaring Moon. Steel type. Ooh, this is a tough one. I want to give it to King Gambit, but Tinkaton's right there as well. Goldango or Chalodon. These are tough. I think I give it to King Gambit though. Fairy type. Iron Valiant. Fluttermane. No, we give it to Tinkaton here. Favorite starter, Quaxley. I'm doubling up on Quaxley. I'll put Quaxley here and then I'll change water actually. Let's pick a different water type here. I will go with Wugtrio. Wugtrio doesn't get enough love. Actually, we'll give it to Ogerpon. Wellspring. No, we'll give it to Wugtrio. We'll keep it Wugtrio. And then here, this is what, gimmick form? Favorite gimmick form here. I love Fire Tauros, so I'm gonna give it to that one. Favorite legendary, this one easily is Koraidon. And then my favorite mon from this gen. Ooh. I gotta give it to my boy Quaxley. I gotta give it to Quaxley there, right? Duckling Squad, rise up. Okay, favorite normal type. This is a tough one, but I think I'll go with the Hisu and Zorua. Favorite fire type. Ooh. Interesting. Here, we'll give it to Armor Rouge. Yeah, I don't know why Armor Rouge. Golduck easy here. Oh, actually, yeah, I gotta pick Golduck there, right? If I don't pick Golduck here, can I pick Golduck over here? Because I know it's my favorite one. Yeah, I mean, I'll pick Golduck there. Okay, grass type. Ooh, interesting, interesting. All these are really good picks, but I gotta go with Leafeon here. Electric type. I'll give that to Jolteon, I think. Ice type, easily Sneasel. Fighting type, interestingly enough, I think Surf Etched here. Poison type, Sneasler, easy. Ground type, Sandslash, easy there as well. This is what our flying types. Flying type, ooh, this is a little tougher for me. I'll give it to Noivern here, I think. Psychic type. Oh, Galarian Articuno. I don't know why the design of Galarian Articuno just like yells out to me. Bug type. Gotta go with my boy Scyther there. This is what our... Is this rock type? I think this is rock type. I will give this one to Lycanroc, I think. Interestingly enough. Ghost type. I will give this one to Haunter, I think. No, not Haunter. We'll give it to Cerulege. Dragon type. Ooh. Dragon type here I will give to... I'll probably give it to Palkia, I think, yeah. Dark type. I will give this one to Absol, I think. Steel type, I gotta go with my boy Bisharp. I don't know why. Bisharp is definitely something that I like more than Kingambit. I know Kingambit, like, I don't know why Bisharp just like, it just, I love Bisharp, I don't know. Fairy type, I'll give this one to, I'll give it to Zacian, I think. Favorite starter, ooh, that's tough. I would probably say Totodile, but I picked Totodile in the water type. So I'll give this one to Quaxley. I think Quaxley definitely deserves that one there. And then looking at favorite gimmick. Favorite gimmick is an interesting one. I would probably give it to the Mega Charizard X just because I don't know. Primal Groudon. I don't want to give it to Mega Absol because I already picked Absol. Favorite legendary. Ooh. I gotta give it to Koraidon. I don't know why. I just really like Koraidon. Okay. And then looking at some of these other things. Click a team. Favorite regional bird. Ooh. Okay, I gotta give it to probably Pidgey here. Favorite regional mammal. Let's give this one to Sentret because I love Furret. Favorite regional bug. I think Nimble. Favorite pseudo legendary. I would probably have to say I'm really liking Baxcalibur nowadays, so I think that one. Favorite Pikachu clone. I gotta give it to Togi, right? Favorite evolution. Oh, this is tough. I gotta give it to Leafeon. Favorite fossil. Ooh, favorite fossil. I would say probably Tyrant there. Favorite regional form. It's gotta be Sneasel, right? Favorite Gigantamax. None of these really are things that I care too much about. I think I'll go with Gengar just because it's funny. No, actually, you know what? We'll give it to. We'll give it to Kingler. I do like myself some Kingler. Favorite baby. Ooh, what are these Pichu ones? I've never seen these ones. I'll give it to Lekid. Favorite box legendary Koraidon. Favorite mythical. Ooh. It's a tough one. Probably Mew. Victini's another one. Arceus is here as well. I'll give it to Marshadow. Favorite Ultra Beast? Kartana. Favorite Paradox? Koraidon. Favorite type? This is a tough one. All of these are good. I don't know. All of these are good. I'll probably say water. Favorite Pokeball? I mean, gotta go with the original Pokeball, right? You know what? We'll go with the even more original Pokeball. We'll go with the Hisuian one. Favorite Spinda? I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. I guess this one. No, we'll say this one. Perfect. Favorite Vivillon? Which one did I pick above this one? Yeah. Favorite Alchemy? Oh, there's different forms of Alchemy. I didn't even know. Lemon one. Oh, there's different things that you can put on with the lemon. This one. Favorite new Evo? It's got to be King Gambit, right? Oh, Sneasler. Sneasler for sure. Okay, and I think that's it. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Again, Golduck being my favorite mon, pretty easily, hands down. You can see all the different mons that I like here. Please comment down below what your favorite mon is and what you thought of my sort of ranking of these different Pokemons. Again, hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll catch you all on the next video. I am going to be getting back into the Emerald Imperium run. I'm looking to bring more and more interesting ideas for all of you in the future, so please be on the lookout for that. But without further ado, I will see you all next time.